Hi guys, hope you're well. So I wanted to come on and do this video just to explain where I am in my life, how I got to this point. And as you can see, I've come on, I'm makeup free. That is a choice for me nowadays. Sometimes I do wear it when I want to go out, but I don't feel like I have to, like I used to a few years ago. I would always be wearing makeup. You can see I was born with a cleft lip, and growing up, that wasn't really a major problem for me. It's just always, I was born with it. I don't know any different. Sometimes I'd have children, asking me, what are those lines on your face? And I would just explain, look, this is a cleft lip, and a lot of people still probably nowadays don't really know what it is. My grandma also has a cleft lip. She's now in her 90s. She had a very different experience to mine. She didn't get operated on until she was a lot older, and she was at school, so she got picked on quite a lot. So psychologically for her, it has affected her. But for me, it's not, it's not a big deal. But I used to think, especially as a teenager, okay, is anyone going to want to date me? Am I going to get a boyfriend? Are the scars going to be a problem? So, I went to the doctors. They offered me, specialist makeup for covering scars. And I've, always just used to wear that. And, even, like I said, just up until a few years ago, before I had my first son, I would feel like I would have to wear it because when I was meeting new people, I didn't want them to be kind of like staring at my scars, and not kind of getting to know me. Um, but I am married now. I met my husband when I was 20. I'm now 36, so that was quite a while ago. And it's never ever been a problem for him. And even my children, my oldest one, I've explained to him what it is, but he's never really asked me, oh, mummy, what are those two lines? It's just me kind of explaining to him. But when I had my first son, I went through my first kind of bout of depression. I've never felt like that before. This was a completely new thing for me, feelings I'd never felt before, and it was a real shock. And you know, he was born by cesarean section, handed to me. You're absolutely exhausted. It was like 28 hours in labor, which, like I said, just eventually ended up with a C-section, and handed this child. And I just kind of went into this state of shock, I think. And then coming home after 2 weeks, my husband had to go back to work like many partners do, and I was left at home with this baby. And I didn't know what to do. I was feeling so sad. I was feeling lonely. I was crying most days, and I was feeling anxiety. I'd never felt any of these things before. It was such a shock for me. And even though I hadn't, my husband was, so supportive. And it's, trying to explain to someone how you're feeling, it can be really hard sometimes. And he stood by me through all of this. But it was just something that I was feeling inside. And I just, I couldn't, it just didn't matter what anyone said to me, basically. I just felt awful, and I was having kind of feelings of, have I done the right thing? Maybe I shouldn't have had a child. It was, and that went on for just over a year. And to be honest, I didn't go to the doctors and, discuss it with them, because I felt so ashamed, and, so awful for feeling like that when I had this child that I had wanted. He was completely planned, really, really wanted him. And I just felt like I just couldn't cope with him. And you go to your baby classes, and I just used to look at the other mothers and think they're just coping so well, and they're loving their child, and I'm sitting here, and I'll go home and I just feel lonely again. and they probably weren't feeling like that. Who knows? Some of them, maybe were loving it, but it's just a shame that people weren't kind of more honest about their feelings of motherhood. And it's interesting now because when people ask me, I'm quite honest about it, because I think, trying to portray this, image of it being wonderful and it came naturally, it didn't come naturally at all. So, I wanted, like I said, that went on for just over a year. And then as he started to kind of get older, I was like, okay, I'm managing this is getting better. And now he's 5 and we have an amazing relationship. He's the most wonderful little boy, and when he gets to a certain age, I probably will talk to him about it, because I think it's really important, like I said, to discuss these things. And, I wanted to have another child. It didn't actually put me off having another child, surprisingly. So, me and my husband obviously discussed it, and I know he was so worried about it happening again, like the depression, postnatal depression. And this time I felt quite different. I felt so much more confident. I felt like, I think I can do this. I'm hoping I'm not going to feel like this. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but I think you just feel differently the second time. You're just so much more confident. And we did go on to have another little boy, and he also came by C-section, even though I was trying to have a natural birth. But hey ho, you can't control these things. And he's now 1.5, and I have felt completely different. It's been very different to the first time round, and I've just felt much more relaxed. Don't get me wrong, you get your days where at the moment he's teething, so most afternoons he's in a terrible mood and he's crying and he's really clingy, and I'm thinking, oh no, I've got things to do. But I just take it in my stride now, try not to let it get to me like I did before. And, I'm just trying to really enjoy it, because, once he goes to school, that's pretty much it, in terms of, what that one-on-one time. And, I'm so lucky that I'm managing to do that. And this is a choice for me. I wanted to do it, but, it's not, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, it is hard, being at home with a child. But like I said, he's 1.5 now, so I've kind of got to the stage where I thought, okay, I'd like to be doing something for myself as well, i.e. kind of work-wise, but, I don't want to be tied down to a job. I can't, because I'm looking after him. So what are my options? Even if I got part-time work, that would mean putting him into a nursery. And then am I just working just to, pay the fees of the nursery? And at that point, that wouldn't really work for me. So I saw a friend on Facebook, and she was talking about what she does. And she was just so enthusiastic, and I just thought, okay, let me talk to her. Let me just see what it is that she does. And after a few weeks of kind of just, talking and putting messages back and forth, I decided, okay, let's just give this a go. I'm not the kind of person that easily comes out of my comfort zone. I don't just go for things. That's just not kind of my personality. I'm always really kind of cautious and want to think about things. And I just thought, if I don't give this a go, I'm not going to know. There's nothing wrong with trying. As I say, rather just try than fail than not, try at all. So I have been doing this now for 3 weeks. I got my kit yesterday, which was so exciting, and I'm just going with it, basically, just see where it takes me. And it's a really exciting journey for me. It's something new. Like I said, life is a little bit hectic at the moment, because I'm looking after the little one, doing school run, taking the older one to classes, and while trying to fit this all in. But actually, mentally, I think this is a really good thing for me. It's really giving me something to focus on. and something like a direction for me. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about what I'm doing and what I get up to, and if you're looking for something new to do, then feel free to drop me a message, or ask me any questions you like, and I'll get back to you. But yeah, thank you for watching this video.